Hello and welcome to News at the Edge, where we give you news and information about all of the great things happening at Edgecombe Community College. I'm your host, Tamika Kenan-Norman, and I think this show is so important for current students, prospective students, even parents, because we'll be talking about the affordability of attending a community college. So we're going to hit on financial aid, including scholarships. We're going to talk about student activities that are coming up as well, and how much it costs to attend ECC. And joining me today, we have our Vice President of Student Services, Samantha Phillips. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We were talking because you just found out this is the first episode
of
News at the Edge.
It is. Okay.
Yeah. So you're like our guinea pig, but it's a good show.
Okay.
Yeah. But tell us about yourself, like where you're from, how you transitioned into your role of Vice President.
Okay. All right. Well, I am a 29-year veteran of Edgecombe Community College. I got my start at ECC in the literacy department in 1997, and from there I became the coordinator for adult high school programs. From there, a counselor in student services, promoted to Dean of Students at Edgecombe Community College, and in 2021 I was promoted to the Vice Presidency of Student Services at ECC.
I didn't even know all that about you, and I work at the college.
But I am born and reared Edgecombe County. Until my junior year of high school, I transitioned to what was formerly Rocky Mount City Schools, now Nash County Schools. So I graduated from Rocky Mount Senior High. I am a proud Griffon.
All right. Well, congratulations on your role at the college. Like I said, I work there. Student Services covers a lot. We won't be able to talk about all of it in the show today, but you all cover a lot. You do an outstanding job.
Thank you.
Amazing job. I want to talk today about affordability. How much does it cost for a full-time student to attend ECC? And what does that mean to be a full-time student?
Well, starting at ECC is very cost-effective for a student to begin their education. A full-time student is a student who is carrying 12 credit hours per semester, and the cost of tuition plus fees for a full-time student is $1,025. Couple that with the average cost for textbooks, which is around $750. That means a student can attend ECC for around $1,800 per semester.
Okay. That is not a lot.
That is not a lot.
Especially when you compare it to, some four-year institutions.
Correct.
So that's very affordable.
Yes, it is.
And let's talk a little bit about financial aid, too.
Okay.
And how is it determined how much, if students are eligible for financial aid, how much they'll receive?
Well, first off, the student has to complete the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. And once the FAFSA is completed, our financial aid office will determine the students' need and if they are applicable for federal and or state grants. So it starts with the FAFSA. It's a free application. The FAFSA opens each year in October, and students should complete it early because the amount of aid that they may be eligible for those early completers, oftentimes the amount of aid that they receive because they have completed the FAFSA earlier affords them more. And the FAFSA can be found at FAFSA.gov.
Okay. That process can seem daunting, but it's not really.
No,
right?
It is not at all. The FAFSA has had a complete overhaul in the last 5 to 10 years. So it's just a matter of gathering some financial documents, whether that student is independent or a student who depends on their family, parents for aid and assistance. But a gathering of a few documents and inputting information, pulling over information from the IRS. So the FAFSA can be completed in a matter of 2 to 3 hours, if not less, if a student has all of their information together. And our college is wonderful in assisting students with that process. Our academic success centers are available on both campuses. So for any students and or parents that may need assistance with completing the FAFSA, ECC has them.
That's awesome. And let's talk about what that financial aid doesn't cover. we can jump to scholarships,
Absolutely.
right? And what I'm really excited about that's really, really new is our United Healthcare Future Leaders in Health Scholarship Program.
Yes.
It's a long title. I hope I got it
It
right.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
But tell us a little bit about that, because we know that's $500,000. I
Yes.
think it's 35 community colleges in the state that are participating. But how is it determined who gets that scholarship?
And I won't say it as eloquently as you have, but we'll just go with UHC, United Healthcare Scholarship.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is that the United Healthcare Scholarship is new for ECC, and it is looking to support students to completion for those students who are entering into our certified nursing assistant programs, so CNA 1 and or 2, as well as our LPN and ADN nursing programs. So if you are an applicant who is a CNA 1 or CNA 2 student, you can be eligible for up to $500 per student. And if you are a student entering into one of our nursing programs, LPN or ADN, then the scholarship can afford you up to $2,500.
Wow. And LPN licensed
Practical nurse, yes.
And what was the associate?
An associate's degree in nursing. That's
Thank
our
you.
2-year program. LPN 1 year program, and ADN is a 2-year program for nursing.
Okay.
Yeah. And currently we are we have received the funds for the United Healthcare Scholarship, and we are assessing those students already registered in our programs because we'll start awarding this summer. So we're looking at students currently registered to CNA 1 and CNA 2 programs, along with LPN and ADN programs. And our health occupations coordinator, along with our assistant financial aid director, will be looking at those students for need and their ability to be afforded those scholarships, and then we'll open up and start marketing to our community for other scholarships.
Okay. Now, one thing I did like about when I was reading the requirements for this scholarship is that you don't get your training at ECC and then go to a metropolitan area. You can't go to Charlotte and all those other areas once you get your training. There is a service requirement that has to be met. Tell us a little bit about that.
So for those in our CNA 1 and CNA 2 programs who receive the scholarship, there is a 1-year rural employment commitment. And for those receiving the scholarship that are in our nursing programs, LPN and ADN, there is a 2-year rural employment commitment. So that's the criteria from the United Healthcare. And the purpose of that is to have those individuals earn their credentials and then become working professionals within our area, within our service area.
And we need that.
We need that.
We definitely need it. I want to talk too about, and more information, like you said, will be coming out.
More
about
information
that.
will be coming out. We want to just really do our due diligence in assessing those students who are already in who are now registering for our programs, and assessing what their need is before we just open it out to the general public.
Gotcha. Other thing I want to talk about that folks can apply for right now.
Right.
$5,000, the State Employees Credit Union Foundation Scholarship, and that can be a game changer for families in Eastern North Carolina, right? So tell us a little bit about the eligibility criteria for that.
So for the State Employees Credit Union Scholarship, we award that annually to students. It's a $5,000 scholarship, so $2,500 per student.
Okay.
Well, $2,500 per semester per student. But it does come with criteria. For the State Employees Credit Union Scholarship, we're looking for that student that has exhibited some strong leadership skills, commitment to service in the community, campus involvement, and then that particular scholarship information is already on our college's website, so students and the general public, anyone planning to attend Edgecombe Community College, can already find information out about that scholarship. And then beyond that, if there are additional questions, they can certainly reach out to our financial aid department.
Okay, so edgecombe.edu, right on our homepage.
Right on our homepage.
Yeah, they can apply there as well.
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to talk about 3 institutional scholarships that the college is providing. And let me say the deadline has passed, but the deadline was March. Right. But I got to mention it because next year is coming.
That's correct.
Right? And the first 2 I want to talk about, really huge, the EDGE scholarship, but then there's also the First Flight scholarship that's new, and that's for high school seniors coming into the college. What do these two scholarships cover?
Well, first, the priority deadline has passed. So our priority deadline for both those scholarships, Edge and First Flight, was March 15th. However, we will continue to accept applications to ensure that we fill all of the slots for those particular scholarships. The Edge has been our premier scholarship. It was instituted in 2016. So it is a full ride scholarship for a 2026 high school graduate. They must have a 2.8 unweighted high school GPA, of course, be a U.S. citizen, and have graduated from a high school in Edgecombe and or surrounding county. And also having completed courses in our College and Career Promise program, at least 6 credit hours in our College and Career Promise program, and or having completed a CCP pathway.
Okay, now explain, what's College and Career Promise?
College and Career Promise is a program where our students are dually enrolled while they are in high school and they're taking college level courses at Edgecombe Community College. The majority of these students are taking these college level courses on a pathway. So there's just not random courses that they're selecting. They're actually choosing specific pathways based on their career and college interest. And so that they're building that skill set along the way. So the Edge Scholarship is applicable to those students who have that CCP experience already.
Okay.
All right. And then the First Flight is new. So the First Flight Scholarship is designed for that high school graduate who has at least a 2.6 unweighted high school GPA and is a first time to college student, whether it be a high school graduate from Edgecombe and or surrounding county, along with an adult high school and or GED program graduate. So it's that first time high school graduate coming to college for the first time.
Okay, so making a path for them.
Making a path. And the First Flight Scholarship is a $500 scholarship, and it is awarded to that first time to college student over the fall and spring term of their first year.
Okay, everything helps.
Everything helps.
I'm telling you, it does. And the last two I want to talk about, I call them the fun scholarships. Because our mascot, for those who don't know, is Eddie the Eagle. Yeah, so we've got the Eagle Mascot Scholarship, and then we just started our esports program as well. So the Esports Scholars Scholarship. And tell me a little bit about the eligibility and what that covers.
So we'll start with the Eagle mascot. We brought Eddie to life in 2021, so he has become the newest member of our ECC family. So he's about campus, and his presence brings about excitement and just having our students be more engaged on our campus. Our mascot is out in the community representing ECC at community events in the evenings, on the weekends. Just special holidays or special events the college is involved in, we have Eddie involved. So that scholarship is meant for that spirited student who plans to attend ECC, whether they're a high school graduate or not, just someone who has some promise about just, wanting to enlighten the campus and be involved with our student population and don the Eddie the Eagle costume.
Yeah, Eddie dances too.
Eddie dances.
Does all of that,
Eddie has a lot of skill sets. So we're just looking for that very hyper enthusiastic student for the Eddie the Eagle Scholarship. That scholarship is a $1,000 scholarship over 2 academic years. So we take pride in our mascot and what he means as a representation of ACC and all that we have to offer. So just looking for a special student for that as well. And then the
esports.
The esports scholarship. Esports is new. And the Esports Scholars Scholarship is similar to the Edge in that we're looking for that that motivated student, a student who has at least a 2.6 high school GPA unweighted, but also has some competitive gaming experience and wishes to be involved or be a part of a competitive gaming team on our campus. So that esports scholars, we have a dedicated space for esports at Edgecombe, very state-of-the-art, high-tech. So that particular scholarship affords a student $2,000 over the first 2 years of their college experience at ECC.
Yeah, I was there just yesterday, and I was like, I could get one of these gaming chairs just to chill in because they're so comfortable. And so they're using this scholarship as they pursue other programs.
They're using this scholarship. They have to be enrolled at Edgecombe in a financial aid eligible degree program, but not anything necessarily applicable to gaming, but just having that experience and that skill set. And being available and ready for competitive play because it is a sport, and we're looking to grow that program and learn more about esports and how it connects students.
And of course, you know, those are great introductions about our scholarships. We can't cover all of them. We have about 80 more that are covered by our foundation.
Yes.
But I thought it was interesting to talk about this because I'm a first generation college student, so I didn't know where to go when it was time to look for scholarships. I didn't really know what the resources were. So I think it's important to let folks know what's out there. Yeah. And you can check out our website as well, edgecombe.edu/scholarships, to see the foundation scholarships, the scholarships that you were talking about also. But I want to transition a little bit as to why more and more students are choosing to attend community college. I think it's affordability, but also student life.
Right.
And we have that at community colleges. We have a lot of student activities, and your office deals with a lot of that. So talk a little bit about what you provide.
And we're fortunate. We have a student activities coordinator at Edgecombe, and our largest student body is our Student Government Association. And this team of student leaders are responsible for hearing our student body, kind of gauging what type of things they'd like to be involved in outside of the classroom. And so the Student Government Association Executive Board, they plan activities for our students ongoing. They involve our campus in civic activities, things that are important to anchoring our students to our institution. So student life at ECC is not students attending ECC. It's just not about going to class, getting in your car and going home. There is student life at Edgecombe. So if you're looking to be involved outside of the classroom, there's several opportunities. Outside of student government, there is various clubs and organizations that students can join. We have an high altitude balloon team. We have a barbering club. We have several clubs that are tied to our health science program, so they're applicable to the health science programs and what they offer. And so there's just a lot of community to be connected with at Edgecombe Community College, which is what we feel is necessary to develop our students holistically. So, you know, we have all of the academic supports that students could possibly need. We are constantly building our resources in that regard, but student engagement is important as well. So we look to have our students be involved outside of the classroom as much as possible.
That's awesome. I actually participated in I think it was Spring Fling on both campuses just the other week. What I loved was the bull riding. You all have that sometimes, and the dancing. So that's always, I say you all, we have that sometimes. So that's fun. Now graduation is coming up.
Graduation
on May 8th.
is coming up.
Yeah.
Graduation is Friday, May 8th at 4 p.m. in the Estemo Auditorium on our Tarboro campus. This year's guest speaker is a pillar in the community. We are excited about having Mr. Ron Green, who is the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club, and to hear his inspirational message. He also has a connection to the community college experience, so we think the message that he'll deliver will be one that's awe-inspiring for our students. Right now we have about 248 students scheduled to participate in commencement on Friday, May 8th.
Right, and I know everybody can't attend that. That's for the graduates and their families, but we live stream it.
We live stream graduation.
So you can check it out there. And I want to thank, anything else you want to mention?
Just that ECC has a lot to offer.
Yes, we do.
We're constantly just, you know, putting ourselves out there in the community. The choosing ECC is the right choice. I mean, if you give us a chance, we've got you. As far as starting dates, our priority registration for both summer and fall will start on April the 13th. Summer classes start on May 20th, and then fall semester starts on August 13th.
All right. That'll be here before you know it.
That'll be here before you know it. Right.
So folks should definitely fill out those applications right now, edgecombe.edu/scholarships. to apply for some of those scholarships. Thank you so much again
Thank
for
you.
being on the show today,
Absolutely.
being our guinea pig, first
Okay,
guest,
okay.
first episode, and thank you for tuning in as well to our very first edition of News at the Edge, all about Edgecombe Community College. I'm Tamika Norman, and I'll see you next time.